Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our May 26th Audit Facilities and Operations Committee meeting. I want to thank President Orser for sitting in on the committee meeting. I do want to, there was a request, I thought it was a good request. I'm going to add the Pledge of Allegiance to our committee meetings starting now and going forward, as since it is a public meeting. We'll begin with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. First item on the agenda this evening is public comment. Seeing none, we will move on to our first short mention items. Mr. Silver, I will turn it over to you, beginning with the insurance loss run.
Right, so many of these things that you have in front of you are just handouts. I want to just describe them briefly, and then they should be in the order following the agenda. So the first thing is a 10-year loss run. This shows all our losses in property damage and liability going back to 2016. And if you look at the very last page, you can see this over $3 million in losses. $3,196,000 has been occurred in losses in the last 10 years. This actually exceeds the premiums that we have paid for our insurance during that period of time. And I have seen this movie before, where a school district gets dumped by NYSER, but they're not proposing that, but they are talking about a substantial increase in our premiums. We do not have that yet. We have filled out all of the applications and renewal information for them, and we're supposed to have our new premiums this week. And we are working with our consultant that was approved by the board last year to see whether there is any alternative to NYSER. I don't believe it will work out as anything but staying where we are. What we have done is to allocate some of the insurance costs to areas that are not, that are either aidable, such as in transportation. Because previously we did not have the insurance costs in transportation, then we didn't get state aid on the insurance and transportation. Now it's there. We've also allocated a portion of our insurance costs to the cafeteria. So all the cafeterias and kitchens, under the cafeteria budget, we have certain number for premiums for that area. And we did that based on the total square footage of the cafeterias in the kitchen versus total square footage of all of our space, because I couldn't think of another way of doing it. And so I wanted you to have this just to see what these claims were for the past 10 years. All of 2026 is on the last page. And so the rest of it is 20-some pages, goes back 10 years. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. The next thing is health insurance data. I just wanted you to see what the health insurance rates are, and we also have what each union is paying for the health insurance for the 26-27 school year. You'll note that the CTA remains the same since that contract is under negotiation. So we've listed that at the same 16.5% that it is currently. And all the others are current for 26-27. That's the first page of this. Did you have a question?
I'm just sorry, I'm still looking at this. I don't know if is this all public?
Yes.
It's all public, even
This is not. The
No,
document,
we're talking about the NYSER.
the document, nobody's ever requested to see it. Yeah, I understand.
But is it public or is it supposed to be redacted?
Well, we're not handing it out.
It doesn't matter, this is a public meeting, the documents are sitting here, because I'm just looking and there are people's names attached.
Okay, so we'll
I'm
collect
just
that.
concerned.
We'll collect that then. Okay, we'll just collect that. We'll get those. We'll put them away.
Sorry. FaceTime video. Sorry, I apologize.
I actually have a question on that, so I'm not looking at this done, so I'll privately ask.
All right, can I go on?
Yes.
So on the second page are the actual rates that we're paying for next year, and it turns out to be a 6% rate increase overall, and but that's there's also a change in the rate for the prescriptions. So this is just for your information, and that's all there is on that. I'll check this with the rest of the laws and stuff. The next thing is,
Hold on just 1 second. Okay, just wanted to catch up.
next item is debt service. That's this big document, long document. This just shows how much debt we actually have, what we're paying for each bond that we have. When the bond was renewed, as you long ago asked me about when I first got here.
The 2004.
Yes, that's right. So just so you know, we have next year about $1.9 million coming off of our debt service for the 27-28 school year. And we have $22 million in actual debt, and our debt limit is $505 million. So we're at about 4% of our debt limit. Not that we would ever have that much, but that's just what the numbers are.
How much falls off this year in the 26, 27?
A little over 600,000 has fallen off and was used to make the budget work.
Mm-hmm.
Next item is school district comparative data. Part of this shows what the various budgets were in the various school districts, what the percentage increase was in taxes, what the budget increase was, and it also talks about the spending increase and the poverty level in each of the school districts in this area. So that's very neat to look at.
So this is Westchester.
This is Westchester Putnam School Boards Association document.
Oh, so it's all of Westchester too?
Yeah.
Not just, okay.
Westchester Putnam. The next is driver's ed. So we are doing an RFP for driver's ed. I'm editing it right now. Apparently we have not had an RFP for driver's ed in a long, long time. And the contract was just signed year to year. And so I'm doing an RFP for the period beginning September 1st. But we have a driver's ed program that goes from June into July.
Mm-hmm.
And we are going to allow that under the existing contract since it begins in June and ends in mid-July. And then the new contract will be under the RFP will be in September. So we're about to go to the newspapers with that so that we have RFP'd everything we should be in that area.
Excellent. Well, thank you for rectifying that situation. We appreciate it.
Next is UPK. I think you have something called UPK aid analysis. So this shows again that we are getting $10,000 a child for next year, and the state is estimating we will be getting a little over $2 million in UPK aid next year. And so as we've spoken previously, we are going to be having the UPK providers provide lunch for the kids at all of these sites.
The next three items are on the board agenda for this evening.
I just, not to,
Yeah. If you want to go back to something.
yeah, just a quick question. So, Mr. Silver, the $10,000, is that, where does that number come from? Is it from the executive budget, the legislative budget, or?
My understanding is, I understand the budget is not enacted, but they continue to send us this, and they sent us this the other day with the change in the foundation aid, which has been mentioned. We're getting $125,000 more than we had been told. It's going from 1.7 to 2.2% increase in our foundation aid, and at that same document, they're saying that it's $10,000. So this is now the third or fourth time that the state has told us it's $10,000. Remember, we are determined not to have a loss as we did this year that we didn't know we were going to have. And so I'm ready to do the contracts, but until the budget is enacted, I'm not going to actually do the contracts.
So we'll know more this Friday. I'm going to a state budget workshop.
Okay.
And hopefully they'll be able to speak with some fidelity about what is actually going on and whether or not all of that is going to be materialized. I'm very confident that it will, but you know, you never know. And the other thing is, look, I'm a believer in the UPK program. We would like to make it as tax neutral as possible.
Mhm.
But the thing is for a district like ours to have a lottery free, where there's no lottery, while other districts are passing out to kids a lottery, leaving people feel disincluded, I think we should be very proud of ourselves in terms of that.
No, absolutely. I think that obviously it's a great program that I believe the entire board supports. It was just more of curiosity whether these numbers are coming because we don't have an adopted budget yet from the state, whether it's the executive run, the state set, and then obviously you have the two house budgets. So I'm just curious if that seems to be.
These are the most updated predictions.
Okay.
Okay, which we hope are materialized. In fact, I'm hoping we get some more money.
I do too.
Me too.
And I understand the state senate will be taking votes this evening on budget proposals. So hopefully we'll have even more concrete information very soon.
Right, so you understand my concern. I'm not gonna sign contracts with the UPK providers until I know for sure
Mhm.
that we're getting this money.
Excellent.
Because last year we had known for sure that we were getting it and didn't. So we're gonna be more careful this year so we don't have a loss.
Excellent.
So we're planning to have zero expense for the taxpayers, which is what we planned previously, but this will be real.
Perfect.
So we're gonna skip a couple of those items the superintendent mentioned, the scoreboard, the playground.
So those are long-standing grants that go back, in some cases, to 2019 that have finally come to fruition.
Okay.
Tonight, we're voting on that.
So just a question, I know trustee Wise had asked it previously, so a lot of these grants, they require us to front the money and then it's a reimbursement?
They all do.
They all do?
Yes.
So what's the dollar amount associated with those?
The scoreboard's $53,000,
Okay,
and the playgrounds are $50,000 each of two schools.
okay, so about $153,000.
Yes.
And then where does that money come from?
Just from our capital fund or our general fund, it doesn't really, there's no law or
Mhm.
regulation regarding where it comes from. It just comes from, it has to be attributed to something in the
Okay.
general fund, and then it gets reversed when we get the money back.
And then do we know the timeline on when that money is reimbursed?
Sometimes it goes well,
Mhm.
if we submit the receipts properly,
Okay,
it goes well. If we don't do it properly, it could take time.
okay. And then that reimbursed money will go directly back into whichever fund it was
Yes, we
taken
probably
out?
just take it out of the capital fund, so it won't actually touch the general fund in any way. That's probably a safer way to do it.
Mhm.
But there's no rules regarding where you get it from, as long as it goes back to where it came from.
Okay, so the scoreboard, 53,000, and the two playgrounds, about 50,000 apiece.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
So those, just so you know, those are inclusive playgrounds, meaning for children who cannot use the regular playgrounds, who have difficulty with that type of equipment.
Okay, so this would be similar to Julie's Jungle, if, I don't know if the superintendent may be familiar with that, or the one at Kent
Yes.
Town Hall, that's what these
Right,
playgrounds would
but
be similar to.
also one is, if I'm not wrong, accessible to students with disabilities.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's correct.
Mhm.
And as superintendent said, one of the scoreboard one goes back to 2019.
Okay,
When we look back at board docs to see this authorization to apply for the grant in 2019, so it's taken 7 years to get the score. I understand there's been a moment when there hasn't been a scoreboard working. Is that correct?
So the last item here before the internal audit is basically what we discussed previously, where we're gonna have some overlap with the outgoing and the incoming food service director.
okay,
All right?
excellent.
I don't want to say anything.
So, okay, yeah, so next item is the internal audit. So we had an internal audit done with some findings which we are responding to. And the board, probably the next meeting here, we will be bringing that internal audit to you to look at.
Okay,
But we want to have our corrective action plan attached to it. We don't want to just show you the comments, because what we've received was a draft from the auditor, and we then make comments, and then they do a final audit, and we do our corrective action plan, and then we present the whole thing to you. It will then, at some point following that, be approved by, or the board will be asked to approve that, and that goes up on the state website. That's all required, just the way I said it.
excellent.
Uh,
All right, line of duty.
line of duty. So we've made some efforts in this area of providing the widow of a widow or widower of a police officer
Of line of duty death.
line of duty death, and the the tax exemption on the assessments, it can be up to 50% of the assessment.
Mhm.
That would be a school property. We don't know what any other municipality is, or the county or the town might be doing, but that's what we would be doing if we did this. And so the board has to decide, one, if they want to do this, and then second, if they want to have the full allowed exemption or something less than the 50% exemption. We thought there might be something related to the widow or widower remarrying, but there is not. So if somebody's a widow or widower in the community, remarries, they're entitled to keep their exemption. If they move into the community as a widow or a widower, they're entitled to the exemption. They don't have to live here at the time of their loss. I think I've covered everything on that. But
Yes, so I want to thank you, Mr. Silver, for working on this. I know that together we've been able to track down some resolutions on Long Island from other school districts that, 2 other school districts that have passed this. I know that you've been able to reach out to some of your counterparts in their school districts.
They actually answer the phone. So we have those resolutions, and we will be presenting that. I think we have to tie it up before we bring it to the board, so maybe we do it at our next meeting, tie it up, and then at the meeting after that, bring it to the board for resolution.
So what I would actually, well, just a couple other things too, that I know you mentioned as far as the fact that if they remarry, they keep the exemption. That's because of our understanding after reaching out to, in your case, the other business officials, and also from communication with some state legislature offices, that was intentional language by the legislature, because my understanding is some other exemptions are authored differently. So it does not seem to have been an omission on the legislature's part. I know also as far as somebody moving into the community, so this would mirror any other exemptions such as our expanded veterans exemption. Of course, you didn't have to serve while living in the Carmel Central School District, but if you become a resident of the Carmel Central School District, much like this exemption, you would be eligible for it. And I know that we also found out that there has to be a public hearing if the board would choose to adopt this exemption.
So we have to figure out a timeline for this.
Yes, so I would suggest of our committee, if Trustee McIntyre is agreeable, is from my recollection, every other exemption that the board has passed, the volunteer firefighter, volunteer EMS, expanded veterans exemption, the Cold War veterans tax credit back from 2019, we always approved the highest exemption. So I would be supportive of the 50% in this case, which would be the highest exemption. It would be my hope that we could recommend that to the board and ask the board to schedule, we could bring it up in new business tonight, to ask the board to schedule the public hearing, which I think
It could just be the beginning, it could be an item on our.
correct, but it has to be,
At a meeting.
it has to be so many days in advance.
5 days.
It's only 5 days, okay. So we could ask the board, for instance, to have that public hearing at our next full board meeting, and then the board could consider whether or not to approve it following the public hearing.
That's June.
So June 9th, and then the next one, June 23rd, we might offer that resolution for approval.
Or we could, I think, in keeping with how we've done it with, so for instance, when we did the expanded veterans tax exemption, I believe we voted on it the same night as the hearing. I'd have to confirm that, though.
Either way,
Mm-hmm.
we can make that recommendation tonight and see if the board wants to do the whole thing on one night.
Yep.
If we're in agreement, why not get it done?
So,
I don't know, but I think anybody trying to get that exemption has missed whatever time there was, maybe back in March.
correct, so it would not apply for this.
Till next year.
Yeah, it would apply next year.
So we have plenty of time, but might as well get it done.
So,
I'm agreeable.
agreeable? Excellent. So we will recommend a 50% exemption to the full board tonight and ask the board to schedule a public hearing. And then ultimately the resolution will be subject to full board approval. But I think this is important. It shows, in line with our other exemptions, how much we truly appreciate the sacrifice made by certain families in the district, whether it be police line of duty deaths, whether it be our veterans tax exemption, or a volunteer firefighter and EMS tax exemptions. Show just, I think is a nice show of support from our committee and the Board of Education to show how much we appreciate their service and sacrifice for members of our community. Thank you.
Okay.
Unused capital account recommended for projects. Mr.
So,
Silver?
I'd like you to take a look at, yeah, that's it.
This one?
Yep. Nick, you got it? Michael?
And then you can start.
So, the numbers on the first page coming out to a total of 687,000 in column, in the way you can see it.
Mhm.
So those were items that were budgeted through the years under capital projects in the budget itself. The best reference I can tell you is that we had 850,000 this year in that line, in the current year, for capital projects. And we are using them. We're spending that money. We're doing the projects we said we were going to do. These were projects through all the years that they said they were going to do and never did. So these monies just went into this reserve account. This is not a capital reserve account. It's what's just called unused reserve is a better way of saying it.
Do we know how far back, how many years?
It goes back to around 2021, maybe 1920, something like that.
Okay.
Do we know what these are for some of these are large ticket items that at some point somebody felt needed to be done and never got around to it? If not now, can we get an actual account of what the 180,000 and 360,000?
Yeah, we do have the detail. I will provide that for you.
Thank you.
I'll provide that to you as soon as I can.
Appreciate it.
So, the first page is to tell you where we are. This 680,000 was where we were at the beginning of this year, from a couple of different sources, but that's where it is. Now, if you go to the last page, just for your information, everything in between the first page and the last page is just what happened, but the last page is the result of what we did. So, the board approved. You see on the last page the $253,000. The board approved. Nick, you see it?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay. So the board approved $253,000 for Healy Electric to do generators at the elementary schools. These are emergency generators, which at the time of what we have now couldn't do anything more than maybe a refrigerator, but they were not able to keep the lights on. They were not able to keep the heating system. They were inappropriate. They're almost like a home generator when your lights go out and your refrigerator goes out at home. They did not have the capacity. So the board approved this. I don't know, when did they approve this?
Earlier this school year?
Earlier this school year, the very beginning of the school year.
Mhm.
And the board knew that it was coming from this money. And so then we had, we did fire alarm panels at 2 of the schools where we discovered fire alarm panels were not repairable, or they were out of date and had to be replaced. Then we did something on boiler controls from the 29 wings, so this stuff had like years and years old, and we were not able to properly control the boilers. Mark, if I'm not saying it right. Okay. And then we did, we air conditioned the bus garage for the first time. They can now work during the summertime without having the big doors open, it being 100 degrees in there. So we considered that to be a huge improvement. So here's where we are. As of May 20th, we had $292,000 left. The first thing we're proposing is in the guidance section at the middle school, we're proposing $136,000 to repair or to replace that stuff. You have that also. It says clean air. So this is the entire proposal to do all the air conditioning and all the controls, right?
It's basically each room has a PTAC unit, which is a heat and ventilation unit.
Mhm.
They were installed in 2005 with the Excel project. They are antiquated, they're beyond their life. Some work, some don't work. So it's basically all the individual offices plus the main entrance. This will replace all those with ductless units, basically what we've been upgraded in the whole district.
So no window stuff.
No, no window units, it's all ductless.
Okay, the next item there. Anybody have a question on that item? Okay, Nick? Okay. But the next item is the man trap. So we have, the $100,000 project in the budget for the staircase going from the track to the softball field. There's 2 staircases. This $100,000 is for the upper staircase. In order to do a project like this, you have to have a minimum of $10,000 inside building. You cannot do site work without $10,000 being inside the building. Doesn't matter how much is outside. It could be $3 million outside, $10,000 inside. So we have been trying to do a man trap. Can you describe where this is?
Basically outside the cafeteria of the high school, on the back side of the high school there, you have the entrance where you come from the wood shop, the metal shop, and the music annex, where the kids go right through the 3 doors there.
Yep.
So there's an overhang,
Yes.
right? And what our objective is to put a man trap for safety, so nobody could get in, if necessary. But that is costly. So we are using $10,000 that we're required to do in the $100,000 project to do the foundational work for the man trap.
So how is that structured currently, as far as security at that entrance? Are those doors locked at all times? Are they locked, unlocked during?
They unlock during the period.
Those are automatic unlocks?
Oh, yeah, they're already locked.
And then, so it's automatically unlocked. Is there a staff member
Yes,
there?
Correct.
there is.
It's like how we have the entrances to the school, we have the man traps there, so if someone happens to you, that you have the door that's locked, and no one can just get right in, so.
So what we did bids
Okay.
for this project. And the bid came in at $181,600, something like that. But we can only do $100,000 out of the one project, so we've separated this with the state into 2 projects. The $100,000 in the budget will cover the staircase, the upper staircase, and $10,000 inside. And this is the balance of what's inside to make the whole project complete, to have the man trap in place for our security. We had thought about trying to do some of this from the safety and security bond, but that bond is so tightly written that we can't get it into there. So we have these funds, and we feel this is an appropriate use to get this project finished that we wanted to do for a long time, to have this man trap.
And then what would happen to the staff member that's stationed there? Are they reassigned, or they?
I'm not gonna say anything from. That would be.
I don't think it takes away from that whole duty assignment, because
Okay.
there's more than one function of that person there. That person, you gotta remember, they're at the mouth of the cafeteria, the hallway that comes down, so I would still venture to say that there will be some need for supervision in that area.
Could you bring us at our next committee meeting, just some more detail on this specific proposal? I'd be curious in learning a little more about this.
So this is on the agenda for tonight,
Okay.
to get this done, because we're working with the state to get approval on everything and get since the bids are done, we need to begin the work. If we delay this, we will not be able to get the staircase done. And so I'm happy to bring you whatever it is or answer any questions that you have about it, if you have anything specific.
Well, because it concerns safety, it may be a better venue as an executive session topic.
Yes.
Mhm.
All right, so let me go on to the last item
Okay.
on this.
Mhm.
So we have for years been wanting to air condition the 4th floor of the high school, where there's, I don't know, maybe 12 classrooms, 14 classrooms, something like that. And that has been the hot pocket of the school district. That gets to its 82 or 88 degrees the fastest, and we have to move the kids out of there. So we are recommending to air condition 10 rooms there. But the resolution also, does it speak to the elementary schools? So we're giving you a resolution. I didn't update this part. We want to air condition 3 rooms in each of the 3 elementary schools as a part of this same money.
Okay.
Which
You
we,
have to, on the
On the blue form.
You put up to 6 classrooms.
Oh, okay, on the agenda, I did, I just didn't update it on the attachment. But we think we could do all of it. So we'll have 3 more classrooms in each elementary school and 10 classrooms at the high school with further air conditioning from this same reserve.
Excellent.
These air conditioners will be window units because to have units that require compressors to be on the roof or in other parts of the building, it's way prohibitive for what we want to do now. And if we were going to do something in the future of a bond, and we included some air conditioning to get some of these window units out of here over time, that would be a wonderful thing to do. But if we decided to do that in the near future, it would still take a couple of years before we had approvals and architectural drawings and bids to be able to do this. So we feel this is a quick fix. Mark has already assured me that we have power sufficient to do this. We're only talking about a couple in each of the elementary schools because the power is razor thin. And we don't want to go through a whole power upgrade right now when we might be doing something different in the future. But we have sufficient power for this, so that is not an issue.
Excellent.
I will be speaking at the board meeting a little bit about the heat challenges that I think we will be facing.
Well, I have a question, just to backpedal a little bit. I see that on this is for guidance. My question is for the middle school, for the air conditioning. My question is, what's the percentage of the rest of the middle school that really affects students that is air conditioned? And is there more priority before guidance with doing the air conditioning that affect the students, the safety and this and that? And I get it that this stuff is outdated and this and that, and I would love to see these people cool, but my priority is to make sure that we're not gonna have to send kids home early for that heat threshold prior to keeping guidance
I would
counselors.
say this, go to the middle school, look in the front of the building, it's covered with air conditioning.
I'm there every day, I just wanna make
Go to the
sure,
back of the middle
No,
school,
I'm
it is
there.
covered with, 95% of that building is air conditioning.
I'm there every day, I just wanna let it known and put it out there. Before that we start doing this guidance counselor stuff and that kind of stuff, I want everybody to know that the students were already done, that stuff is taken care of.
95% of that building, what?
We will not have to close that building.
No, 95% of that building is air conditioning.
I just wanted that out, no, I see it every day. I just wanted that out there because this is specifically for guidance. And just so people who aren't aware, watching at home, that building, 95% where the students are,
Yes.
there's units in almost every
So
classroom.
nobody will have to go home because of the heat in that building.
Thank you.
The next item was an add-on that I had. I showed on the agenda having to do with bus drivers. We have been having difficulty getting drivers and getting drivers to stay. Back last year, the board approved a $1,000 bonus for people who stay a year. The board also approved our paying for their training of 34 hours
The fingerprinting.
and the fingerprinting, right. And so now we find ourselves in need of getting more drivers and more we have a lot of drivers call in. What happens is that the dispatchers or the supervisors or the mechanics end up driving buses, which means that buses aren't getting fixed if the people who fix the buses are driving the buses. So we are proposing that we do sort of a recruiting effort. We do have our new contract, which raises our hiring salary to a little over $27 an hour. We are hiring at step 2, that's a little over 27, and that contract is about to be done.
So if everything goes well with the contract, the CSEA, that's something that is a positive to this. But what I want to say is that in this state and nationally, people can't find bus drivers. The fact is, as we stand now, after school stuff is being canceled, and we don't want that. We don't want kids who are supposed to be at sporting events to be able to not go there. The other thing is that we want our bus routes to be crisp and on time, like a European train system, okay? And so if we need 8 more bus drivers to make that happen, then that's what we need. The thing is we want to be able to attract people here and retain people. Now, we're well aware that our neighboring districts pay more, but we still think that Carmel's appealing. And it's appealing for several reasons. One, it's a beautiful area. People live in or around this area. And to hire them, it's a pretty good gig in the sense that you're working with wonderful kids and wonderful people at the bus garage. So to have some incentivization to come and join with us and stay with us, that's what we're looking for. And I think this will be an important piece of ensuring that our fleet is properly equipped with the human resources that we need.
So we didn't say exactly what we're proposing. So we're proposing a $1,000 signing bonus for drivers, but they don't get it right away. They have to be here X months. There's been a proposal of 6 months, 5 months, 4 months. We can come to that agreement later on. Mike, you want to speak to this?
Yeah, I know there was mention about the upcoming possible contract, which would put us a little more in line with our neighboring districts. And I've actually reached out to a few of them, like Brewster's 2673, Arlington's 31, Mappac's 3084, Pauling's 2829. So,
So we would be above Brewster,
Brewster was 26.
2673.
and we'd be at 27.
I think,
So
yeah.
I think that's about, I think the first time in over 20 years that we would be ahead of
Yeah.
Brewster.
Yeah.
So we're behind all the others.
Which would help us because, like, even JP will tell you that, over the years, as we bring people in the train,
Mhm.
we get a lot of, when people come to us, they say, well, the neighboring district offers more, then they end up walking out, So not that it's a total answer, but if you can gain one or two, that, that's huge.
But also
Is
that
the signing bonus something that other districts do, or would this be unique to Carmel? Would it be a unique appeal to potential employees?
So like, a lot of the contractors do it.
Mhm.
That's very common in the contractors. They actually do a $3,000 sign-on bonus.
Okay.
So can I say something else? The reason why this is such an issue now is because in New York State is being cited by the federal government,
Mhm.
and they're gonna remove 50% of the CDL licenses that New York State issued, which means that we're gonna be competing with larger companies that just do buses.
Mhm.
And I think this will help. I also think, and I wanna be very clear about this, that we need to do a marketing campaign and get it out there to people in Putnam County and Southern Dutchess, saying basically, come work for Carmel in this capacity.
Well, also, if somebody lives around here, to go to Arlington with our gas prices the way they are is a hike, where they might be better off here for 50 cents less than somewhere else.
So those are the variables that we want to offset.
Well, I support it.
Me too. This has been a problem for a while, and it's like you said, it's not just a Carmel problem. This is New York State and a national problem. And if we can do something to try and curb this and keep our fleet staffed and the buses running,
We just have to decide on the right amount of time.
So then
to
this
make
would,
sure somebody settles in.
I agree, because you can't just give it to
they
them.
don't get hired and the next week
No,
they're
we were
gone.
thinking somewhere around the 4-month, 5-month period.
So then it would be,
Welcome for ideas.
for instance, they sign on, they're here 5 months, they get the $1,000 signing bonus, and then a few months after that, when they complete their year, there's an additional bonus. So that is a double incentive for them to stay with Carmel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that makes up for any deficit and certainly doesn't make the drive to somewhere that's 20 miles away
Mm-hmm.
as worthwhile.
Right.
Yeah, Marissa's pointing out that that other one, the
Okay.
earlier one, ends June 30th of 27.
So we'd be supplanting that with this bonus that would come sooner rather than later,
Okay.
okay? And
So it'd be one and not the other, not a dual bonus,
No, not-
it would be the one bonus
Right.
sooner
Gotcha.
rather than later.
than the 1 year.
Maybe we do,
Bagels.
six, yeah, 6 month and tuna fish sandwich.
They like bagels.
Well, if you believe that this would be helpful to your recruitment efforts, I'm 100% supportive of it. I know that As has been stated, that it's been an issue not only in this district but nationwide with recruiting and retaining bus drivers, and I think we have the best staff anywhere in the area, second to none, and if we could add to their ranks, I think that would be a very positive thing.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, I mean, it's not 100% the answer, but I think it would help.
Good, very good.
And I look forward to the day where, we don't have to have mechanics leaving the property to drive the bus. Cancellation of after-school activities, right? Even if it's one activity, it's not good.
So it has the recommendation of the committee, so how, what's the next step? Does it?
We'll get some language for that.
Okay, excellent.
And we just need to determine a time frame. But we can do that as we're getting the language.
Okay.
Whether it's 4 months, 5 months, whatever.
Excellent.
And we can make that the top agenda item for the June 9th.
Sounds good. Okay.
You got that?
Do any committee members have any business that they would like to bring forward, whether listed on the agenda or other items?
No, I missed earlier, but I did hear about Ken talking about the state and their budget, and they're getting close. I don't know if you read it, we did get the update about how they are close.
Yep.
And even in that update, it did mention a $10,000 for UPK per student. So I like the sound of that, and I know you're not signing any contracts yet, but it's looking good. And I just want to say, I hope that does all come out just as planned.
It is looking good.
And it looks like the electric bus mandate was delayed 5 years.
Correct. Yeah, that's another
Yeah,
thing.
that was a very positive.
Is that 5 years?
Development.
Yes.
5 years.
So
2035.
32.
32 to begin, the mandate to begin
So
purchasing. and then
2032 would be the
2040.
last year you could buy an electric, a diesel bus.
And then,
If that's the way it is.
yeah, and then 2040 for a fully
Completely.
electric.
I'm not that worried about 24.
A lot can change.
You guys, man, I'm not that
I
worried.
hope, I hope you're still our assistant
I'll be somewhere.
Don't be so morbid, Ken.
I'll be so good. I want a piece.
Any other business that you'd like to bring up?
No, that's all.
Any business from the back?
No.
No? Okay. Well, thank you, everyone. Please, as always, bring back to your staff how much we appreciate all the great work that they do to make our district operate, and how much we appreciate all of their work day in and day out. And we look forward to our next committee meeting on
June 9th.
Okay. Thank you very much.